My. Oh, chaps and chapettes, what have we got for you today? I think we have, yes, as if I didn't already know that, Jose Mourinho tactics is going to be the topic of today's video. So we're talking about Jose Mourinho in the era of sort of 2009 to 2010, I think it was, with Inter Milan, that he was able to win the treble, beat Barcelona, beat Bayern Munich. So we tried to implement these tactics into the game. And I think we did a pretty successful job, but you have to wait and see. So 68 speed, 64 passing, 40 passing chance creation. I can't be asked to read out the rest of the stats, but I basically say, just as a sort of general rule, the top in build-up play, speed and passing. Speed is obviously how fast you're going to attack. Passing is kind of a range of passing, so lower would be shorter passes. Chance creation, all in general, is just how risky you're going to play, so the numbers are reasonably low. And then defensive pressure is just how high your defense is obviously going to be up the pitch, and also aggressive as well. So this is the actual team. It's a Calcio team, 80,000 coins it cost. It's a pretty decent, all-round, solid team, because the defense, I think, is arguably the best defense, the best cheap defense that you can get, with Manolas, who is, once again, arguably the best, I'd say the best centre-back for underneath 10,000 coins, or maybe even like 20k to 30k. He's absolutely insane, because he's already got 80 sprint speed, decent physical, and all the rest of it. So you slap an anchor on him, and he's an absolute monster. You got your boy Benasha or whatever. We got Lukaku, Cancelo, and I'm out of time. Straight on to the next bit. But one of the key players, I think it'll show the players again here. So we switched to a 4-2-3-1. We've got CDMs Matuidi and Khedira, who we have on stay back while attacking man mark, stay back while attacking on the left back and right back, come back on defense on the cams, and then getting behind and stay central on the strikers. So we actually put Gomez in the middle, Douglas Costa on the left, and then Cuadrado on the right. Or Cuadrado. How do you even pronounce that? I don't even know. I don't even care. Or actually, nah. Cuadrado. I give up. Absolutely shocking stuff. So basically, the way that you want to be playing in this team is you have to be happy to accept losing the ball. You don't want to be the type of player that is going to be sort of super trying to keep the ball way too much to the point where you're just aimlessly passing it around. You want to be passing with purpose, which means you want to be doing a lot of driven passes, maybe whipping out some skill moves and just attacking quite fast. And what that does, I think my camera's a little bit out of focus actually. Trust. What that does is it keeps your opponent guessing. It keeps the opponent guessing all the time, because if you're playing quite patient, then your opponent is going to kind of predict what you're doing to an extent, unless you're sort of doing some skill moves in between and stuff like that. But the main focus of this team is going to be your defensive solidity mixed with the counter-attack. And if you can get that balance right, then it is honestly quite incredible. And I think defending is something that you don't really see too many people focusing on. And I really do feel like this is one of the best tactics to beat teams that are better than yourself. And also, arguably, players that are better than yourself as well. So beating pros with teams of icons and all the rest of it. With a 4-2-3-1, because you do have that defensive solidity and a chance to maybe win the game 1 or 2-0 if you catch them on the break. I mean, because most people, especially the pros online, are going to be going for like rage quits all the time, and they're going to be like cruising through games, and they won't be expecting you to like park the bus on them. But I mean, they probably could deal with it a lot of the time, unless you are pretty decent as well. But I do feel like with a lot of practice, you know, using the Jose Mourinho tactics with a lot of practice and all the rest of it, it could work very well. So, obviously, I think we're in the semi-final here. And one of the best players, I didn't even realise that he became this cheap, because I was kind of monitoring him towards the start of the game. But Gomez is absolutely incredible. He is such a good player. And he currently costs something like 6,000 coins. He has 4-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot, as well as with a finisher chem star. The long shot stat becomes absolutely incredible. Definitely one of the best players for around 6,000 coins. Quite incredible. I thought Giovinco was OP, but this lad is next level. He's quite small. He's got very good dribbling, very good pace. But that height of like 5'4" or 5'6" means that he's very good at sort of cutting in, turning, very good low center of gravity. And with a finisher chem style, I remember back in the day I was watching Rocky, as in Vitality, Rocky the pro player, French lad, on streams. And a lot of I think when he was first starting, he had a reasonably cheap team, although a pro never really has a cheap team, to be honest. But he was using the finisher chem style. I had to literally figure this out by going on his stream, obviously looking at all of the chem styles, and then going on my game, switching to the French language, and then seeing what each of the chem styles was in French. I was a sweaty player. I don't know why I was doing that, but yeah, the finisher chem style is very good because it adds, obviously, a lot of strength, which isn't the main thing you want to be going for on Gomez. He's going to be weak anyway. But it's mainly the shot, because you get something like plus 15 shot power, incredible long shots as well. And I think the shot power, especially, makes it much easier to get power off driven shots and stuff like that, which makes a massive difference. I was noticing that his shot, especially compared to everyone else, was just incredible with the finisher chem style, as well as also having sick dribbling. So I definitely recommend it for like 6k. And there's so many great value for money players in this team. And one of the reasons this tactic works so well as well, because Jose Mourinho back in 2009-2010 season with Inter Milan, I'm pretty sure it was, imagine if it's like the wrong number, that would actually be such a roast. But 2009-2010, he was able to win the Champions League, and arguably with a team that wasn't as good as the teams he was coming up against. You know, I think he had to beat Barcelona and Bayern Munich in the final. And Inter Milan, they're a big team. I wouldn't say they're up there with those types of teams, especially now. But I think the tactics, the organisation in defence, and the counter-attacking style was just so well sort of drilled that he was able to defeat these teams. And that's sort of what we're going for on FIFA, to be honest. We're trying to... I would actually really like to become a master defender, because I feel like that is quite literally one of the only ways to go up against the pros and the better players. But nonetheless, we get a beautiful counter-attack there. And it's all about sort of waiting and being patient to an extent in terms of getting the ball back and then hitting them on the break. So as you can see here, they're trying to hit us with De Bruyne, trying to go straight through the middle. We spot the run, Cuadrado running straight through. Look at that. He's gone. And then at that point goes for the chip. Cheeky stuff as well. And that is going to make your opponent salty, especially when, you know, you're sitting nice and deep. They can't seem to seemingly break you down. And I don't know, like the salt, you think about it, this tactic gives you even more momentum in a way, because the opponent's going to get salty about it, and then you're just going to keep catching them. I'm not saying park the bus. Like, let me make that clear. It isn't about parking the bus. It's just about being defensive and organised in defence. So, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope your chaps and chappets did enjoy, of course. Make sure to leave a like. If you want to see maybe some other teams or different tactics, or maybe more in-depth with this sort of thing. And we'll be back with another Road to Glory episode tomorrow. Yes, I'll see you in a tick. The absolute moppers, my mind.